Billy Luna.
What's up, guys? So, just want to give a quick update because I'm hearing that this guy's at the San Gennaro's feast and they keep telling me, you're going there. I can't go there, okay? If I could go there, I would. All right, with bells on, okay? I go right to his stand and I hit him in the face with a cheesesteak, all right? I can't go there. I wish I could. Hootie will be there and we'll see what happens, all right? He's so tough. Snuff of them is so tough. Let's see what they do. Hootie's going to go right up to the stand and get a cheesesteak and see what they do, all right? So let's see what happens.
This this dirty mother. What you doing?
Billy Luna.
Gene Borrello, you keep on saying you're going to come. Well, listen to me. I want you to come. I want you to make a video like you do every day. You're trying to get likes from us. You mention my name every day. I don't even want to talk about you, but I got to. We'll be there waiting for you. We're going to accommodate you. And ain't nobody running. The only person that ran was you. When you went back to Howard Beach, I got the video, I put it up, and I promise you, or my mother will be there waiting for you. Come on down. You ain't coming, mother. You're all talk.
Former Bonanno Family Associate Gene Borrello is sending his hitman, Hootie Russo, a former Gambino Family Associate, to confront alleged Philadelphia Mafia Boss, Skinny Joey Merlino, at the San Gennaro Festival in Little Italy, New York City. Hootie and Gene have been going hard at a lot of Philly and New York alleged wise guys recently. Gene has gone ham, going after Skinny Joey Merlino, his people, and his family. Hootie has been talking mad smack about several members of the Gambino crime family in New York City, including members of his former crew. These simmering hostilities will all come to a head this week on Mulberry Street at the legendary Feast of San Gennaro. Stay tuned until the end of the video for the inside details. First, I'm going to give you a little history about the San Gennaro Festival, its alleged ties to the Mafia, and its use as a backdrop in the film The Godfather Part II. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share with your pals. You know. Remember, stay tuned until the end of the video for the full skinny about the upcoming Little Italy showdown between Gene and Joey.
Billy Luna.
The San Gennaro Festival starts with the crash of brass, incense turning meat on the grill into smoke that wraps around you like an old neighborhood's memory. What began in 1926 as a one-day block party honoring St. Januarius on Mulberry Street turned into an 11-day ritual. The statue carried down the street, neon lights, cannoli stands, and kids chasing quarters under the folding tables. Italian immigrants brought their faith and their appetite, and the city never looked back. Inside this bright chaos, a cold racket grew. By the mid-90s, the city broke open the sponsoring group, Figli di San Gennaro, allegedly a front for extortion. Vendors were paying under-the-table fees, quote, rent, on their stands, in a scheme allegedly tied to the Genovese family. Vincent the Chin Gigante was the boss of bosses in Manhattan, whisper quiet and ruthless. His lieutenants, Matthew Matty the Horse, Ianiello, Salvatore Toto Toscano, and the lower-level associate Dominic Fat Dom de Napoli, were fingered in the take. They skimmed from thousands of dollars in vendor receipts every autumn when the statue rolled out and tourists streamed in, turning religion into a tax. After the city cleaned house, there was a brief lull, but not for long. In 2004, a restaurateur tapped to run the event, one Francis Frankie Testa, resigned after trial testimony linked him to the Bonanno crime family. It was a reminder that while Genovese held the lane long-term, other families smelled money too. Then the real proof spilled into a 2012 federal indictment. Matthew Ianiello, now confined under an array of racketeering charges, was formally accused of orchestrating extortion of San Gennaro vendors in 2008 under the Genovese banner. Same family, same playground, over generations. On screen, in The Godfather Part II, that feast is more than background. It's a weapon. The camera tracks down Mulberry as the statue of San Gennaro passes through narrow streets stuffed with worshippers. Young Vito Corleone, played by Robert De Niro, stalks the sinister Don Fanucci of the Black Hand. Vito is tired of kicking up a tribute to Don Fanucci and has unilaterally decided that Fanucci's reign must end. You hear the band, trumpets drowning out everything, and then gunfire. Young Vito Corleone blasts the older Don. The festival still fills the streets every September. The statue still rolls down Mulberry. Tourists still linger for the fried dough, the music, the kitsch. But behind the smiles and cannoli, the ghosts of Ianiello and Gigante linger.
All right, everybody. Here we're going to break it down for you. What is going to happen when Gene Borrello sends Hootie Russo to confront Skinny Joey Merlino and his people at the legendary San Gennaro Festival in Mulberry Street in Little Italy, New York City. Okay, I'm going to give you the whole breakdown here. Now, the legendary San Gennaro Festival, as you saw, referenced in The Godfather, tons of stuff has gone down around here. Obviously, about a half a mile down the road, that's where crazy Joey Gallo got clipped. You know, a lot of crazy stuff. This is Little Italy, the heart of alleged Cosa Nostra, right? Hootie's going there. Hootie and Gene have been talking mad mess, okay? Gene has been talking a lot of mess on Skinny Joey Merlino, his people, his family. It's getting out of control, okay? And Hootie has been talking about his former crew. He was a Gambino Family Associate. Obviously, Gene was a Bonanno Associate. Skinny Joey Merlino, alleged boss of the Philadelphia Mafia. And so they've been talking all this mess. And now the thing about Gene is stuck in Florida right now with an ankle monitor on. He can't leave Miami because of a domestic A case. And so Hootie, however, lives in New York City. He goes down and does shows with Gene from time to time. But Hootie, most of the time, is mobbing around New York City. He's taking trains. He's walking to Little Italy. He's walking here. He's walking there. And he is constantly talking mess on his members of his old Gambino crew, on various Gambino heavy hitters. And I don't know, man. The fact that Gene and Hootie are going on and on about this kind of stuff, to me, and not having a hair mussed on their head, is somewhat emblematic of the demise of the alleged American mafia. Because, I mean, some of the stuff is getting pretty insulting. And then, some of the stuff is getting crazy, A. B, Hootie is just effortlessly floating around New York City. He's in Little Italy, he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Now, okay, so here we come to what's going to happen with this potential showdown. Now, as we know, Skinny Joey Merlino's, fantastically successful cheesesteak shop is going to have a booth. That's in Philly, that's in South Philly, but they're going to have a booth this year at the San Gennaro Festival in Little Italy, okay? So, presumably, Joey's going to be there. His sidekick Lil Snuff, his people, other people, and Gene has said he's sending Hootie there. So this is interesting because there is a huge law enforcement presence at the San Gennaro Festival. And I don't know if anybody in any squad or whatever and with the feds have picked up on this particular case. However, I would say, because Skinny Joey Merlino is there with a booth, that there is going to be a lot of eyes on that booth, a lot of law enforcement eyes. So, in a sense, Hootie walking up to get a cheesesteak, it's nobody is going to be, I don't think anybody's going to be stupid. I guarantee you Skinny Joey Merlino is not going to be stupid. Now, if Hootie were to come up into Joey's face and pop off with some smart shit, I'll tell you something, man. I know Skinny will slap him across the face. I don't care. It doesn't matter how big a guy is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, he's going to be surrounded by his people. So, generally, you ain't going to make it to the general without getting sprayed, as they say. So, I don't think that... I don't know, man. I just don't think that a lot is going to go down. I think that this might be the time, though, if Hootie does show up and talk shit, this will be the time when somebody gets slapped. Okay, that will be my prediction here. Now, if everything's right, now, if there's a bunch of cops literally, flanking them, standing right there, looking right at it, it's obviously going to calm everything down. But I think this is the best chance thus far. Gene was saying he's going to show up at the cheesesteak shop. He was been unable to do this because he's got an ankle monitor. He can't leave Miami. But then I've heard Gene subsequently that he was talking with Hootie, and Hootie was saying, don't go to the cheesesteak shop. It's a setup. And Gene's like, okay, maybe I'm not going to go to the cheesesteak shop. So that, I don't know what the status of that is going to be, if he's ever going to show up at the cheesesteak shop. Gene's former manager or current manager, Vladdy Daddy, showed up at the cheesesteak shop. And, I don't know who this guy is, Vladdy Daddy, but that was almost a scene. That was almost something. There's people like not digging that. But in terms of Hootie, I think this is the best chance we got. So we may see some action, and I would assume if Hootie goes, knowing Gene and Hootie, there's going to be a video camera or two. Stay tuned to the Billy Luna channel, because you know that I'm the only one who has all the inside details about what's going to go down, and I'm going to keep you all abreast of it. Now, I want you to let me know in the comments, okay? Will Hootie show up, okay? Will somebody get slapped? What's going to happen, okay? And I'm posting a poll about this. So let me know in the comments. Of course, share this with all your pals, okay? And let me know in the comments, and go to my poll and vote, and let me know what you all think.
Billy Luna.
Please subscribe to the Billy Luna channel and like the video. Thank you.